Good morning. It's quite early in the morning, and here we are with the latest update on the female to male alteration. Now, let's see what happens when I put the phone in the overhead bracket from the other end. Okay, so those motion sickness prone people, close your eyes for a sec. Okay, well, it doesn't really want to fit, but let's see how that goes. Right. So I called the lady in for a forward fitting because I'd shaped the aprons and wanted to see how it fit. And I tried it on her because I was concerned about the amount of shape, or say the degree of shape. I'm trying to think of a less, I don't know. It's, yeah, the realities of her figure to avoid having to put darts in, because when I originally fitted this to her at her natural waist, the curve was so marked, so profound, that it looked like I was going to have to put in darts, preferably equidistant from the center, which would be there, I guess. But she expressed her preference for wearing the kilt much lower on her hips, more of a sort of a jeans height, a trouser height. So that's what we do. It remains to be seen how that will turn out in the long run, because I think I mentioned there was one time I made a kilt for a fellow. He absolutely insisted that his kilt be like only come up as high as a modern pair of trousers do. And I couldn't budge him on it. So we went with it, and we each discovered that there's a reason why a kilt comes up to the natural waist, because I made it for him. He was happy with it, but as he's wearing it out of the shop and walking away, the top of the kilt, with the motion relative to the hips, because again, it's a tapered cone, or it's a section of a cone, the top of the kilt started to rise as he walked, seeking the natural waist. So remains to be seen if it happens in this case, but there we go. So I tried it on her because she's wearing it lower on the hip. The waist measurement now has changed, so we learned that I have to increase the waist measurement 1.5 inches and the hip measurement 3 inches, and to that, and of course, 1.5 inches at the waist means 3/4. Half of 1.5 is 0.75. A change of 3/4 on either side at the waist, and a change of 1.5 inches either side at the hip. So that's what I've done. I took all the basting apart. I've pinned it up. We still have a pretty good deep apron pleat. With the change in width, from there, from that line, as you can see, 1.5 inches, we've gone there, and that'll still work, because the whole point of folding this over, well, I might have mentioned this before, but this illustrates one point of folding the canvas over rather than just letting it run out, as it were, is that you have this reserve of cloth, right? Ideally, I'll do it the width of the fold at the end of the apron, but that's okay. And that's the other purpose is it gives a bit of stiffening, a little bit of shape, which, although we don't have to worry too much about that, because of course, as I've said about the use of tailor's canvas, the mistaken use of tailor's canvas rather than this ordinary cotton drill, is that the whole is under tension. It doesn't need to be shaped. But having said that, I think I'm going to cut a small piece of canvas and stitch it in here, so we just have that extra little bit of shape. So from here today, after I turn the camera off, I'm going to sew this, sew that as usual, baste all this as usual, and then make up the outer apron as usual, and then carry on. So So there we are. I'll report into you later because this has taken rather more time than either of us preferred. So I'm going to power through. Right now it's Friday morning at 7. I should have this ready for pressing at the end of the day, which means I could have the lining in tomorrow and potentially as soon as tomorrow afternoon. But I won't rush and I won't make rash predictions. Okay, those of you with sensitive tummies, close your eyes again. I'm going to take this thing out. The other, there it goes.